Okay, I saw this video, and there's been a lot of like back and forth. Things have gone crazy, really, since Charlie Kirk was killed. Right? We've seen that was obviously gruesome. A lot of back and forth, and I got to be honest, I've just kind of seen it from the ancillary, from the outside looking in. You see, I don't know a whole lot about. I've watched some of Candace Owens' stuff in the past. I'm not like a religious watcher of her stuff, but I do know that she's getting like hundreds of thousands of people who are watching her show right now when she does it live. Crazy. And I know she's had some theories about things that have happened and stuff, and there's been a lot of infighting, and I don't really know a whole lot about that, right? I said I just kind of seen it from the outside looking in. Des, have you followed any of that stuff?
I followed some of it, yeah.
Do you have like a better understanding of like what's going on with all that?
Than you, maybe, but I honestly, I'm kind of, I don't really know what to think. I just don't know what to think about a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just, there's just so many different theories being flown around right now. I think honestly, what I really think is I think everything's just a giant psyop. I think we're supposed to be confused and just really confused, because I think when you're confused, you get more demoralized. When you're demoralized, you're a weaker society. So I think that I think a lot of stuff is just kind of in there to cause division. I mean, I think there are definitely some strange things, just about his death. I do acknowledge there's strange things, but I don't really know what the answer is to it. And we're not going to really be able to find the truth as just normal members of society. So I kind of always try and think about what's just the best thing. What can I do in my own life to just make me as strong and centered and grounded as possible? So that's sort of where I end up going, because I can definitely get very overwhelmed by a lot of the craziness.
I like that. I appreciate that, Des. That's great. I like that you're kind of thinking for yourself. Well, let's go in and look at this guy. His name is John Christ or Christ. I think it's Christ. John Christ. He is an American comedian. He's been known for sketches on YouTube over here. And he's open for Jeff Foxworthy, Dave Chappelle, Seth Meyers, Tim Hawkins. And he, in 2019, allegations of sexual misconduct, which had him canceling his comedy tour. Okay, so why do I bring this guy up? Because he was on a podcast recently, and it says, comedian John Christ says after attending a recent Tucker Carlson party, he realized the world is staged. He claims Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Turning Point USA staff are all friendly with each other behind the scenes. And let's go ahead and check this out, because maybe this goes into your theory here, Des.
Tucker Carlson's there. Marjorie Taylor Greene is there.
Wow.
Candace Owens is there.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, Lydia, Candace Owens is here. She's like, what? Well, I go, Candace is here. She goes, tell her I'm reading her book. I go, not Candace Bure. Candace Owens is here.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
The other one.
The real one.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then and there's like a bunch of Turning Point people there. There's a bunch of like, I wrote down a list of everybody that I saw there. A bunch of comics were there. Brennan Shaw, Theo, bunch of people, a bunch of MMA fighters in there. And I was like, I go, all right, this is what I always have thought about those kind of things. And I'll just say it out loud for everybody listening. And I've said this before in some kind of context. There was Turning Point people there, and Candace Owens was there. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson. I hate to say this out loud. Everybody friends. Everybody friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said that before.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I've heard before about Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we saw like the Democratic majority leader and like the Republican, they're at dinner. I go, yeah, everybody friends.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody like kind of in like, we would see, like, let's say like Theo's good buddy of ours, he would be like doing something. We were like, oh yeah, it's kind of just for the thing, mm-hmm. for their job. They mm-hmm. just kind of have to they kind of got to be on the sidelines and dump Gatorade on the coat. That's like kind of,
they're entertaining.
That's what their thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I go, wait, I thought you because the thing he said about shouldn't you guys be fighting?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't you guys be fist fighting in the center of this party?
Yeah.
Everybody, hey, you want a drink?
Yeah.
All right, Des, you hear that? What are your thoughts?
There's something to being cordial and when you're out in public. So
Mhm.
I think that could be misconstrued. I would have to really kind of like, if to really assess it, I would want to know specifically what he said or what he saw was said and what kind of actions he saw, because like if there's somebody I hate and I see him in public, I'm not going to go start fighting them, but I might also not be like, hey, can I buy you a drink? But also there could be like killing with, trust me, I'm great at killing with kindness. I'm great at it. And I've only had to pull it out a couple times in my life, but let me tell you, I know how to kill with kindness. Take that dagger and give them a load of kindness and twist it. I'm great at it. So there's also something to be said about like, oh, let me buy you a drink. And then you stare at him, So I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I would have to really, again, be there. But I do think that there is absolutely truth to the world is a stage. There's so many bad actors. There's so many people pretending to be at odds. I 100% believe that too. Whether or not I can say all those people he listed, I don't know. Again, it goes back to saying I really don't know.
Blabs, what do you think of that? And
I'm kind of with Des on it. It could just be cordial, but also it wouldn't surprise me if like it's all just made up for money for online, everyone, for the clicks, for chats, all these other things for their shows and whatnot. But it wouldn't surprise me if they all had this little secret group chat where they just send each other their tweets and go, look what I just posted, it. This is really funny. And the other people are inside are laughing at it, going like, oh man, they really think we hate each other. No, look at all that. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they were all just gleeful, with like some super secret group chat where they're all like, just laughing at everyone, thinking that they all hate each other,
Sure. It's tough to think that there's this much coordination in something like that, right? But do I think that when you see people going off and the people are trying to make, especially with social media, they're trying to get clips, they're trying to be viral, they're trying to keep people talking about themselves. You see this in congressional settings all the time, and you're like, oh, that guy owned that guy, and then nothing ever happens, right?
Yeah.
Nothing ever happens ever. Oh, he got him good. Oh, he got him. He's you, and then who actually has a really good take on a lot of this is the comedian who was in Half Baked with Dave Chappelle. And I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. And I know the chat's going to get me on it, but Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer is huge on this idea that it's all just fake. It's all just nonsense. And it's just a club that you're not in, and you're just a peon along with all this stuff. Furthering this even further, going back to, speaking of comedians, George Carlin right here.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. It's the big.
We've literally used that line before when it comes to the gaming space as well. And people have equated this whole idea, like, it's funny because I've always enjoyed pro wrestling. It's really this unique form of entertainment, very American. But they always say that pro wrestling imitates reality, and sometimes reality is it's just a step away. And the irony of all this is that Bully Ray, of all people, who is a former WWE wrestler, came in and he retweeted in response to this. It's all pro wrestling, folks. It's all just story. It's all there. So what do you do? Let's just say it is all fake. And let's just say we all acknowledge that everything about this is fake, whether it's Candace Owens and Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA, or whether it's pick whatever side that you're on, right? Infighting on that side, it's all fake. What do you do? How do you combat it? Because these are people who are somewhat powerful in the world of politics, and politics ultimately will they tie into all these decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis. Do you have a solution on how to fix this? Is it simply as simple as you ignore it? Like, do you have any suggestions, Des?
Yeah, I feel like we need to stop being so tribal. Even with the people that we support, people start to elevate humans to this like God status, which I've always thought was really weird. Like I can appreciate a take from somebody and then think another take is stupid and that's fine. Like, it's just it's kind of all or nothing with so many of these political figures, and that's what makes everything so worse. So I think we all need to just kind of like stop elevating so many politicians or commentators to these ridiculous levels, and I think we need to look and see what actually is being passed, the actions and laws. That's like what we should be focusing on, less about all these hot takes and opinions and feuds and all this sort of stuff. And and again, just always think about what you can control in your own life. I don't think ignoring is maybe. I think it's always good to keep an eye on what's going on. But I think getting so emotionally charged and attached to people is where it can be problematic.
Got another video for you right here. Go to watch it. It's a good one.